Hello, my name is Ray Salazar, and this is Morning Reel, a 3 to 4 to 100 minute or so podcast of films that I review of all nationalities, all kinds of races and ethnicities, all kinds of cultures, from the beginning of cinema to the current day. Today, this morning, I review Jeanne Dielman, 23 Quai du Commerce, 1080 Bruxelles. It is a 1975 film directed, written by Belgian filmmaker Chantal Akerman. It was filmed over 5 weeks on location in Brussels, even though the majority speak French. Isn't that fucking crazy? This film served a purpose. This film was actually appointed as the greatest film of all time, according to Sight and Sound. Sight and Sound is like the Source magazine, Vogue, Insider, Forbes, all of that, all in one. But from the perspective of, it's about filmmaking, it's about cinema, you know, world cinema, not just like, the stuff that Entertainment Weekly talks about or Variety and all that crap. Nah, this is the deal. This is it. Anyways, produced by Corinne Gennart and Evelyn Paul, starring Delphine Seyrig, Jean Decourt, Henry Stork, Jacques Donual Vacroz, Yves Becom. Yeah. Cinematography by Babette Mangot. I gotta give it up to Babette Mangot. The cinematography in this film is as minimalist as it can be. Every shot has a purpose, every shot has meaning. If you were to see it, you would know. Edited by Patricia Canino. Production companies Paradise Films and Unichois. Distributed by Olympic Films. It was actually released in Cannes on May 14th, 1975. That was just a couple of days ago. And it premiered in France on the 21st of January the next year. This film has a running time of 201 minutes. Let me repeat that again. This film has a running time of 201 minutes. That is roughly 3.35 hours. So 3 hours and about 35 minutes. Insane, right? Insane. Who would have thought that a film that runs at this length, that's very minimalistic, that has a very, very simple plot, yet very. It's just crazy how you can spend 3 days getting to know somebody just by watching them and able to know that person to some degree. And that person doesn't really do much. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it very, very quickly. The controversy as to why this is considered the greatest film of all time. This film is very simple. It's about a woman. She's a widower. She's been a widow for 6 years. And, I mean, we don't know too much about this person. We only know through letters that she reads from family that pretty much expose, you know, facts about her and I don't know, facts about her life, the people that she's with, and mainly she's with her son. She has a son who's probably like in high school, and you can kind of tell by the interactions between the son and the mother, there's really not that much of a strong relationship. In addition to that, you can kind of see who this kid is, like he's very a little bit not morbid, but like he's lost like flavor to life, I don't know, it's kind of weird to say that. I can understand why somebody in Sight and Sound would be like, you know what? This movie's it. This movie's the greatest film of all time because it deals with life. It's the slice of life of a woman turned into a prostitute, which is the way she makes her ends meet. I mean, look at the way she lives. She lives what may seem a comfortable life, but as you watch the film, as you get to know this character, and this is fiction. This is not even like a documentary or a mockumentary. It's not reality TV. This is totally made up. And when you look at it, I mean, obviously you can tell it's made up because of the way it's shot, like the way things are framed, how dialogue is, transferred from one character to another. But even when like you see the dialogue, when you see the exchange of dialogue between certain characters, whether it be the son or the mother, or this woman that we don't see that gives her baby to the main character for like, I don't know, like what it seems like when we look at it, right, like a couple of minutes, but it's probably, a couple of hours due to its editing, right? The editing's weird because for the most part, it does a good job at pretty much telling us where the story is going, how it's progressing, where it's progressing to. And sometimes you kind of don't catch when it's not a continuous, like, shot of a scene. It just, like, it just goes from one scene to a completely different time of day. Or unless you are told that the day that you're watching is over, which there's a title card that says that, it says the first day, the second day, and the third day. And as the film progresses, time seems like it slows down, but it really doesn't. It When you see it, you really feel that you are there. You really feel that you're just getting so deep with this character's like life, like a regular afternoon. And I just like the fact how the main character, it's crazy because this movie is like, it's supposed to mimic reality as as the most, like, the most realistic as it can. Like there's a scene where this woman like makes veal cutlets. Like she takes out the veal cutlets, she takes out the breadcrumbs, she takes out flour, she takes out an egg, and we watch her cook in real time. Like there's no cuts. Like we watch her prep the meal and all that crap. There's a scene where she's making what it looks like to be, I guess, a fucking Brussels version of a meatloaf, and you get to see how this mound of ground beef with an egg on top of it, and she's just mixing it all up with other ingredients, and it becomes from just a mess of a ground beef to like almost a perfect like meatloaf shape. It's actually pretty fucking incredible if you ask me. Like as far as like acting is concerned, because like you're doing it on the spot. You don't know how many takes they're doing. I mean, one take alone, I think the longest take in this film, because as time, or rather like story time, slows down, like as the story goes, right? I feel like the longest take, if I have to clock it, would be 8 minutes. 8 minutes of a long take with no cut, one shot, and a still shot. That's what's crazy about this film too. There's like no panning whatsoever, Like I don't think there's a pan shot. I don't think there's a tilt. I don't think there's a track, a dolly. No, it just sits there. It's static. It's like we're just looking at it from Chantal Akerman's point of view. And a lot of people might say that this film is boring as hell. You know what? Reality is boring in some weird way. If you're a housewife, I mean, what kind of life you think you're gonna get? How you think you're gonna pass the time? But it sucks because the element of like being a widow, the element of, I don't know, man, like the way people take grief or the way people operate after death. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't know the feeling. I don't know. I know that for sure people change, and when you look at this film, you see this woman change. You see her change a lot, and and who knows if it's for the good? Who knows? And that's what makes that character pretty such a good character to like be invested on, and how she basically carries the whole film, because we are technically watching this film through this person's life, through this person's point of view, which we are led to believe it's a real life, even though it's completely fiction, right? Isn't that fucking crazy how we go to this merry-go-round of thoughts and feelings, and at the end of the day, it's a fictional film. And I mean, coming back to the character, you just kind of get to see how, as comfortable she can try to make her life to be, she's a mess. She still is a mess. When you look at her, and you're looking at her from like a, not like from a full shot, but like more like a 3/4 shot, if anything, and you don't get to see her up close. But when you get to see her, you get to see like certain body movements, certain facial expressions, lack of facial expressions, especially like when she sits down, dude. She just fucking sits and just has that cup of coffee, and you just wonder like what's going on, what's going on with her, like. And it's crazy, like we are thinking this. I mean, at least I'm thinking this. I'm already wondering what the fuck's going on. I want to know, you know I want to know, what is she, what is this telling us? And from what I understood, this woman is just either, I don't know, maybe she's not over her husband, passing away, or maybe that the fact that her husband passed away changed her life, uh made her life like, not that it's hard to live. Obviously, there are moments where she enjoys life, she enjoys herself, she enjoys her independence, because really she's an independent woman. Like, there's really no man there for her, but you can kind of tell in certain scenes where she would love to have a man. She would love to have somebody to, that you can talk to, that you can like be around with. You can kind of tell, and it's kind of sad when you see that. You feel for this person. Even though it's a fictional film, but you can see how the movie works for us to have those feelings of like sympathy, or maybe even empathy, because there's thousands of people who've seen this film who are widows, you know, and especially by the way the film ends, man, dude, like, we, I mean, we're capable of all kinds of crazy stuff, right? Would I call this the greatest film of all time? Nah, I really wouldn't put it there. It's a really good movie to watch, even if, I don't know, man, like, to really put, like, you gotta ask yourself, am I willing to like sit for 3.5 hours, or just take it by hour? Do I really want to do that? If you're a film person, if you're like, you love cinema, you love film, you like to be surprised, you like to see reality, you like to see, real life shit, slice of life, things like that. You want to see it's a feministic film too, because I mean, this film came out in 1975, dude. That was like during the first wave of feminism. It was going hardcore. Like, women were finally, you know, trying to claim what they want to claim. And obviously they got a lot accomplished, right? You know, as their own society, of course, you're gonna want to be interested into seeing this film. I would definitely watch it again. Not just to even have it as a background. Like, I want to see this again, because never have I seen a film where it's so dedicated. It, you can tell that Chantal Akerman put a lot of effort into this, put a lot of work, a lot of time, obviously, because I'm sure it was not easy to make a film like this one. This is a very unique film. It really is like slow cinema in some weird way. I think that's a genre. I don't know. Slow cinema. I mean, the first, like, quote unquote day, like, it's like 20 minutes, and then like the second day is like another like 45, and then like the last day it's like what it feels like an hour. And what's great about it is, on the last day, you can already tell like something is wrong with this girl, like something's up. And not only that, in each day we get to see the John that that she gets, that she does her job with or whatnot, and on the third day, since it's so slow, and a lot, and it feels like it's in real time, you are awaiting the John. You're awaiting a John, and you see the John, dude. And that scene is very. I mean, it gets just deep in that. It just gets deep. You get deep in there, and you get to see. I'm not saying it's graphic, but like, it's just, Ackerman is just relentless at this point. At this point, she's just giving it to you, man. And you you can't help but watch. You're invested. Greatest film of all time. Nah, man, honestly, because they said that if it wasn't really her, it would be 2001 or Vertigo or those other films. Anyways, 4 out of 4 tokes. I gotta give it 4 tokes. Watch this film. It really will change your life in some weird way. Give you a different perspective of cinema. Give you a different perspective of people. Ray Salazar. Follow me on Morning Shot Films, IG and YouTube. Follow this podcast, Morning Reel. And check out my website, morningshotfilms.co. A lot of stuff to check out, man. And get ready for the next one. Thank you.